Hi guys, it's Brittany. So today's gonna be a Dreamtime video, and this is a very different Dreamtime video that I've done, um, that I will do. And the dream I'm about to tell you has to do with the new Scream movie, Scream 5. And now, for those who haven't seen it, if you don't want to be spoiled, fair warning, there will be spoilers. Not a lot, just a bit. And, well, I think with this spoiler in particular, if you don't want to know what character dies in the movie, because I had this dream that, okay, so I had this dream, that a certain particular character that we all have seen survive throughout the movies in fact died in this one. And in the movie it's just so disturbing. So if you don't want to know what character dies, if you don't want to be spoiled by that, and if you haven't seen it, then click away and go and, by all means, watch something else and, watch their video. And, up until when you do see the movie, then you're more than welcome to watch this video and find out which character that I dreamt about died in the dream, which died in the movie as well. So, just let you know, there will be some spoilers. Now, of course, I won't really get into detail of what happened in the movie, but only say what happens to the character. So, just fair warning. So, right on to the dream. So, I had this dream about last year in December, and in this dream, I was actually in the movie theater. Like, I remember that I was in the movie theater and I was just, sitting down on the seat, and I remember watching the movie of Scream 5, and it was at this part where, now this is where the spoiler comes in of the character who dies, but the character who dies as I'm watching this in the dream was Dewey. Now, of course, I didn't see how he got killed. I didn't see how, or, nothing like that. I didn't see any specific details to how that happened, whether if he was cornered or what, or how he got killed. But the only thing that showed is that he was laying on the floor dead. But what's different from the movie is that he was lying dead inside a house. I think it could have been Stu's house. And he was just lying dead, inside a house. And Gail comes in, she sees Dewey, she's trying to, wake him up, but then she realizes that, that he had been killed. And then so she's crying. She's like over him, but she's crying. And so seeing her cry, I was feeling so sad, and I remember that I was crying myself. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. And then Sydney comes in, she's holding a gun, and she sees Dewey lying dead. And she starts crying too. And then Gail tells her, you go find him. You find him and take him down. I'm gonna stay here with Dewey. And to me, that was just like, oh wow. Like, so she's telling Sydney to go and take Ghostface down while she stays behind, with Dewey. So it's like, oh my gosh, like, that was so sad. It was heartbreaking, and I just remember crying and just you know. And so I remember thinking, like, even in the dream, I thought, I can't believe he died, like, and I just still couldn't believe it. So the dream wasn't that long, but that's how it ended. It ended where she was right there, with him, while Sydney gets up and goes find, this ghost face killer, and to take him or her or they down. So that's how it ended, and I woke up. And when I woke up, I was actually quite surprised, and I remember I was like, wait, why did I dream that? Like, and so I thought, does this somehow maybe telling me that this is what's gonna happen in the movie? Is it somehow trying to get me to be prepared for what may happen? And although it didn't show the details to, how he died, but just showing that he's lying there, very still. And so that's what I thought. And because, yeah, even before I had this dream, I even had this feeling, I don't know, I even had this bad gut feeling that somehow he wasn't gonna make it, and that, we might see him from maybe some part of the movie, but he's not gonna make it to survive throughout the whole movie. So I even had a feeling about that, but then I thought, no, I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, because what if they're, because even in the trailers, there were some things in the trailer that was a misdirection. So I thought, what if it's that? What if somehow they're thinking that this is gonna come to an end with one of the main characters that we all know and love? So that's what I thought. I thought maybe, I don't know, but that's just what I thought. Like, no, what if it's not? What if it doesn't have it? But then it did, because when I did saw Scream 5 last month, I don't know, somehow I just had that feeling again, like, oh no, he's not gonna make it. And I thought, no matter what happens, no matter how he, with his character, no matter how it all comes down to, for his character's, death scene, I thought, no matter how horrible it may be, I just know I'm gonna be completely sad. I'm gonna be in tears, and that's exactly what happened. Now, I'm not gonna say the specific details to how he died, because it's only gonna make me more sad, so I'm not going to. But for those who haven't seen it, you'll see it for yourself. But yes, as a matter of fact, Dewey does die in the movie. And now the way he gets killed is just so horrible. Like, it wasn't something it wasn't something I expected at all. Like, the way it happened so, even in my mind, I can't forget about it, but it's just so horrible. It's brutal. It's so brutal, and it's really heartbreaking to watch. And when that happened, me and my sister, we were screaming, screaming, like, literally, like, no, and just crying, and believe me, I was crying so hard, and I couldn't stop crying. And to be honest, I haven't cried hard like that over a Scream character since Randy's death in Scream 2. Oh man, and that was hard to take. And with Dewey, I think they're both hard. Now, even though with Randy, even though we don't really see the graphic details to, you know, how he got killed, even though it was unseen, yet it was still very sad to watch. You know, it's just heartbreaking too. And then with Dewey, but with this one, it's not it's not like an unseen scene. You know, like with Randy, like this one you really see it, and it's just horrible. It's gut wrenching. You know, no, well, yeah, it is, and oh gosh, yeah, because it's like once you see something, that's something you know you can never forget, whether if it's a good thing or a bad thing, depending which one it is. But it's so horrible because it's like I said, I'm not gonna say the details. Of course, I'm not, because I'm gonna feel more sad, and then I might get teary eyed. So I would not want that. No. Um. But yes, like I said, the way it happened, it was, I wasn't expecting for him to die like that. I mean, to me, that just seemed too far. You know, especially with this character that we're all attached to, and the character that we all grew up with watching, and that we all, you know, feel like close to and love. You know, almost like it's like losing a friend. You know, like a best friend. So it's like, oh my gosh, this is so horrible. So yeah, like I said, I think it went too far to how they killed Dewey off like that. Like, no. That didn't seem right. Like, that seemed cold, you know, like, and just someone who's completely, um, you know, heartless. And, well, I'm just saying that Ghostface himself and the character that did this to this very likable character is like, to me, just seemed like, oh, this Ghostface killer in particular is just so ruthless and heartless, and to kill him in such a way that's so, you know, taking it too far. It's like, it's like that. It's so brutal, and it's heartbreaking to watch. And like I said, I remember even the first time watching it, I literally was like screaming, and I was crying, and I couldn't stop crying. Even after that, and it showed Gail, and it showed how she has that sad look on her face, and then now she is screaming in pain, in emotional pain of losing her best friend, and someone who she also was in love with. But you know, even though things didn't work out between them, they still remained close. They were best friends. So to see her in pain like that made it even more sad. And me and my sister were crying even more. And I felt like it was such like a heavy weight that I just felt like, okay, how am I going to be able to stop? You know, because this is so sad, and I don't think I can ever get over this. And I can't. And you know what? I think, like, I know that happens. Like, sometimes when we see a certain character die in a movie, no matter how many times we've seen it, that's something we will never get over. Whether if a character dies in a horror movie or a drama movie, no matter what kind of genre movie it may be, depending how close we feel to that character, but just seeing how they die, we will just never get over that, because it will always tear us up. It would always make us feel torn emotionally, because you know, we just really it's like we just love that character, we feel close to them and relate to them in some way, and yet once we see them die in such a horrible way, that that's just something we can never get over because we're just covered in tears. So, oh gosh. But yeah, like I said, so anyway, now of course I'm not gonna say who it was that done it. I'm not gonna spoil anything else. That's pretty much all I'll have to say. But like I said, again, if you don't want to be spoiled by the of the character who gets killed in the movie, then just to let you know, fair warning. Oh my gosh, my throat feels a little dry, you know. And, I'm pretty sure everyone else felt the same way when they saw Scream. To be honest, I actually felt like after seeing that and after how, and to be honest, I would say that scene really broke my heart. It did, and not just with that scene, but even Randy's death broke my heart too, and even with some other favorite characters in certain movies, even when they die, it also is just heartbreaking, and I feel like torn, and I just feel like, oh, I'm never gonna get over this, you know. And believe me, that's how it is even in real life too. So yeah, so even after, because even afterwards, even watching the rest of the movie, I mean, of course, even at some point when I was done crying, I was still feeling sad though. And I just remember feeling like, okay, I still feel sad here. I'm trying to, try not to cry since we still have the rest of the movie to watch. But yet, I feel like somehow I needed someone to be there to like give me a hug and comfort me and be like, hey, don't worry. And well, maybe not, no, not don't worry, but just be like, hey, like yes, I know how sad it is, but I'm here. I feel like I needed some comfort after that. Because yeah, it's like I said, it's just so sad. Like, it's heartbreaking. It's, oh my gosh. That's all I'm gonna say. I know this is going on a little bit long. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I'm actually gonna put a warning on this video. I'm gonna put it on my thumbnail of the video, so that way for those who watch it, then you'll know. But yeah, I think the one thing that Ghostface says to him as he or she, I'm not gonna say who, as they kill him off, he says something like, I think it's an honor, like, and with me I'm like, okay, what does that even mean? Like, I don't know what they meant, but it's like, oh gosh, like, it's shocking, like, it's so disturbing that that when you see it, and especially if you love this character and you feel like a close, connection to the character, like I said, so when you see this happen, it's just, you're gonna feel emotionally like, heartache. Like, it's so sad. And yeah, I know that's one of the things with this new movie that I'll never forget. So, I mean, believe me, I still really liked the movie. I still enjoyed it. but that part just really hit me hard, where like it just felt like it was one of those things where it just hits you like right in the chest, right where your emotions are at, and that's where you're at the point where it makes you scream because you're like no, and then all of a sudden you just start bursting into tears, and you just keep crying and crying like Niagara Falls, because it's just very heartbreaking to watch. And then it's just one of those things where you can't you can't even stop crying. Like you just can't. Like, and believe me, I've been there before with some movies where I felt like it was just so sad that I felt like I just couldn't stop crying because it was so sad. I felt that way with some movies, but this is how I felt with this one too. So it's like, oh my gosh, so I can't find my words, but yes, that's how that particular scene made me feel. It made me feel emotionally, like like I said, just very heartbroken. Like it did. So I'm sorry if this video was going on for a little bit long, but just wanted to tell you guys about that dream I had, and even saying about that part of the movie. So like I said, if you don't want to be spoiled, it's okay that you don't watch this video, and you can watch something else for the time being, and that way when you do go see this movie, then you can come back here and watch this Dreamtime video. So yeah, and believe me, I was actually feeling sad while talking about it, so I was like, oh no. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this Dreamtime video, and let me know what you thought about it, and let me know what you thought of Scream 5. So that's all for today, and I'll see you at the movies.